Sarah here with the Holy Mess. This is day 2. We are doing our day 2 check-in for the 3-day diet, which means we're over halfway done, you guys. If you're done with day 2, I know some of you, depending on your time zone, maybe aren't done yet. But if you're done with day 2, you just have one more day left. Can you believe it? It's gone so quickly. It's gone so fast. So tell me all the things in the comments. I want to hear from you. How did day 2 go for you? How did you feel today? How was your energy level? What did you think of the food? What did you think of the meals, the snacks? How did day 2 go for you? Did you follow your food plan on Tuesday? How did you do with that affirmation? Were you tempted? I was tempted. There was a time after lunch where I was like, gosh, I could grab something. Nobody would know. But the thing is, maybe nobody else would know, but I would know. And I thought, no, I want to do this. I want to do this for the 3 days. I committed to this. I want to stick with it. So those are the times when I say to myself, I can do hard things. This is hard, but I can do hard things. Now I want to share, I know some of you in the group have talked about how you've gotten off track. There's so much grace for that, forgiveness for that here. That is part of what I teach in our Faithful Finish Lines program, Trading Guilt for Grace. A huge part of my therapy was learning to treat myself with the grace and compassion that God gives me. So not beating ourselves up. Look, you guys, if you could beat yourself up thin, we would all be thin right now, right? Am I right? We're really, really good at beating ourselves up. If that worked, then we would be successful right now. It simply doesn't work. So we have to let go of the shame. We have to let go of beating ourselves up and start treating ourselves with some grace. Now, if you got off track, I want to say too that I do encourage grace and compassion, but I also want it to be a learning experience. So I do want you to get back on track as quickly as possible. In fact, one of the affirmations I've given you is never eat 2 off-plan meals in a row. So type that in the comments. Never eat 2 off-plan meals in a row. But we also want to learn from our experience. If you're so quick to kind of put it out of your mind, you're not going to learn from it. And that's what I used to do. That's the pattern that I was in for years, was I would binge, I would overeat, especially like at night or on the weekends. And then I would get back on track like the next day or the next Monday or after the holidays. If it was the holidays, I get back on January. Maybe not first, maybe second, third, when the kids went back to school. But I tried to put it out of my mind because it made me feel so bad because I beat myself up about it so much. But then the issue with that is that I never really learned. So now part of the process, and this is what I teach more in depth in Faithful Finish Lines and in the 30-day challenges, is a back on track process. That involves going back and tracking what I actually ate, even when it's painful. And it can be painful. I mean, I can easily track 50, 75 Weight Watchers points, which is, I don't know, I think I get like 23 in the day. So if that gives you some idea, it's hard, but that's the honest reality. I don't beat myself up for it. I'm going to learn from it. And I'm giving myself that grace and compassion, and I'm asking, what would I do differently next time? And that's what makes the difference. I don't just push it aside. I don't just forget about it. I don't beat myself up and then like, okay, I got to start fresh. I think about, what did I learn from that experience? Someone shared in the group this morning that she got off track, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but said I got really busy. I got distracted. Okay. What happened there? What would you want to do differently next time? Because this is how we learn and this is how we change. The other thing that I teach is getting back to your plan right away. Keep your plan the same. It's so tempting to want to undereat to make up for the binge, but don't do that. So if you had a binge the night before, I encourage you to get right back on your plan and eat exactly what was on your plan for breakfast the next day. If you're truly not hungry, maybe you would eat a little bit less, but still, I want you to get right back on track, because otherwise you're just going to stay stuck in that cycle where you undereat, and then you overeat, and then you feel guilty, and then it starts over. And I was stuck in that cycle for years. So that's all part of the getting back on track process. Okay, I see a ton of you in the comments. This is so exciting. Tell me about how day 2 went for you. How do you feel? Mary says, I'm so full after supper. I can't imagine eating 2 more snacks. That's fine. You do not have to eat all the food. Only eat till gentle fullness. Some of you are eating all of it and you're hungry. You know, honestly, I've been more on the hungry side. So I've been eating more of the vegetable soup, more vegetables. That's been enough to satisfy me. If it wasn't, I would have eaten another serving of fruit. I don't want you to be physically hungry. For a lot of people, this is a lot more volume of food than what you've normally eaten. But if you're very active, if you're an on-go person, if you need a large volume of food, then you might need more food. And bigger bodies do need more calories because you need more calories simply to move through space. So when I was 250 pounds, I needed a lot more calories just to maintain my weight and then to lose weight in a safe way compared to now when I weigh about 125 pounds. My body just doesn't need that many calories. It doesn't take that many calories to move me through my everyday life. Okay, Sakanda, I hope I'm saying your name correctly. Let me know. She says day 2 was good. For dinner, I had only half a serving of chili with the potato. Okay, that's totally fine. Moriana, and I don't know if I'm saying your name right. There's an echo. Okay, I apologize for that. Unfortunately, here in my kitchen, there's not much I can do about that. Sweet potato and mashed banana. Cheryl says, I believe how much good food we can eat for 0 points. Plus the tuna salad with the egg and tomato. She added an avocado. Now that would be 0 points, and that's not part of the plan. That is something I wanted to talk about tonight too. What if you, on purpose, veered off the plan? Now there's food cravings. We talked about that on Sunday. I'm going to talk about that briefly tonight. But what about if you just decide, I don't want to do that. I want to do something else? Well, first of all, we're all grown-ups here. So nobody's making you do anything. You signed up for this plan. Nobody was forcing you. Nobody was holding a gun to your head. You wanted to sign up for the plan. And I'm not a slave driver. I'm just offering it. You know, I'm offering it here for you, and I'm guiding you. But it doesn't matter to me whether you follow the plan or not. I don't care. So, I mean, I care because I care about you, but it doesn't matter to me what you eat. So if you want to eat something different, eat something different. That's your choice. You're an American. You have free will. You absolutely have the right. And I think that's important because sometimes we tend to rebel against our plan. Have you ever been on a plan and you rebelled against your plan? And you kind of almost had like, this is part of that toddler voice that like, don't tell me what to eat. I'm going to eat whatever I want. Definitely. I've definitely done that. Or I've gotten like mad at Weight Watchers because things are so many points. Like in our Faithful Finish Lines group today, we were talking about restaurant meals. Some of the meals are like 30, 40, 50 points when you get 23 in a day. And sometimes I get really mad. I'm like, this is ridiculous. How come these are so many points? Like Weight Watchers cares. Like Weight Watchers even knows what I'm thinking. It's just, it doesn't care. The point system doesn't care about me. It just is data. It's information. It is what it is. But yet we get that rebellious spirit inside of us. So some of you are making choices to eat off of the 3-day plan because it's what you need. Maybe it's what you need for health reasons. Maybe it's what you need because, you simply have to have certain foods. That's fine. But what I would also challenge you is, what if you're eating off the plan, why are you choosing to eat off the plan? Like if you're adding coffee creamer anyway, if you're adding cheese to your eggs, if you're adding, avocado or other things that aren't on the plan, I'd just be curious why. You signed up for the plan. You wanted to do this for 3 days. Your hope was to have the best weight loss. I really can't tell you what's going to happen if you eat off the plan. I mean, you're not following the plan. And again, we're all adults here. Life happens. Sometimes you have to grab something different. And I'm totally fine with swaps. Like, if you want to have grapes instead of mango, go for it. Like, swapping out an equal amount of vegetables with vegetables, fruit with fruit, even lean protein with lean protein isn't really a problem. Whole grains with whole grains for those of you who are plant-based, different beans for different beans. And we're talking about adding things to the plan that have a lot of extra calories. Olive oil on the vegetables, a tiny, tiny bit won't make that much difference. But you guys, oil is extremely high. Let me see. Remember when I showed you that calorie density chart? Oil is way, way, way down here. It is like 25 times more dense than vegetables. So even a small amount of oil does make a difference. It does make a difference. So again, I'm not telling you not to, but I just want to ask you, why the rebellion? Why the need to not just try it, not just try following the plan, especially if this is your first time. I would encourage you to just give it a try. You know, we all have these deeply held beliefs about our food, desires about our food, and I totally get that, and that's me. You know, I've gone through some really serious digestive issues the last couple of years, and I've had to do a bunch of really strict elimination diets. I'm on a pretty strict diet now. I was finally diagnosed with sucrose intolerance, which is a relatively rare digestive condition. So I get it. Every time the dietitian wants me to do something different, I'm like, no, you're going to have to pry the food from my hands. I'm not giving it up. So I totally understand. But what I would also say is I have women every day who email me. We get, I don't even know, Gabrielle, my assistant, could tell you 50 emails a day, easy. Sometimes we get 100 emails per day, and we answer all of them. And women are really struggling. They're hurting. You might have been one of those women who wrote to us and said, you know, my weight is literally killing me. My weight is like on my knees. I need knee replacement, and the doctor says I'm too heavy, or I can't get on the floor with my grandkids, or I have no energy. I'm so exhausted. I just lay on the couch at the end of the day, or my doctor said I'm diabetic, or my doctor said I have high cholesterol, or I'm in danger of having all these health conditions. If that is you, then I want to challenge you to let's do this thing. Let's make some changes. It's not going to be easy, but you can do hard things. This is where maybe we need to loosen our grasp on the food a little bit. When we are holding so tightly to some of those food choices that we're not willing to even try, even for 1 day or 3 days, then I think it's time to examine that really carefully and say, maybe I'm just holding on a little bit too tightly, and I can at least try. Now, God has brought me on a huge journey with my weight loss in so many ways. And I've been at my goal weight for many, many years. But then these last couple of years with the digestive issues, He's taken me even further. You know, there were foods I thought, there's no way I can maintain my weight loss without this food. And then I would have to give it up for a while. It's almost like He was saying, yes, Sarah, you can. You need to rely on me. There's no one food that I have to have anymore. And I really used to think that. Like I said, even if it was just vegetables, like I have to fill up on vegetables, or I have to have my fruit. There's no way I can get through the day without my fruit. And now I know that I can. I can get through the day. I do have the strength to do that. So, like I said, if you need to make some swaps, make some swaps. We're all adults here. It's totally fine. But I really challenge you the next time you do this, and I would love to see you do the plan again, whether you wait a few weeks and do the original, or maybe you did the original and you want to do the plant-based, or you want to invest in one of my 7-day meal plans, like the 7-day easy meal plan, or the super satisfied meal plan, which tomorrow there's going to be a coupon code tomorrow for those. Just give that some thought, really give that some thought. If you do any journaling or prayer, give it some intentional thought of why am I holding on to these foods so tightly? And in order to release this weight and get to my goal weight, maybe I need to hold it with a little bit more open hands. Okay, I didn't even know I was going to get that serious on you guys. So I'm seeing your comments. You followed the best you could. Patricia says, you're single. It's a lot of food. It is a lot of food. You know, if you do it again and you don't have like extra freezer space, you can actually have the recipes if it's just you, and then totally enjoy the leftovers. And you can freeze stuff. The chili freezes great. Vegetable soup freezes fine. Salsa chicken freezes great. If you get the turkey, I was going to tell you too, like you can buy just a turkey breast. You don't have to buy a whole turkey, but you can also just buy a turkey tenderloin, or even like at the deli, like just a few slices of turkey, so you don't have to get a big turkey if you don't have a whole family. So I want to hear from you in the comments, what was the best part of today? And the other thing I want to hear, this could be today, yesterday, like since we started this whole challenge, what has surprised you? What is something that has taken you by surprise with this plan? Tell me about that in the comments. Somebody asked today about plant-based eating, so let's talk about that just for a second. So we have the 3-day plant-based meal plan. This is a vegan and vegetarian meal plan. It's whole food plant-based. In other words, there's no animal products in this plan at all. What if you're interested in this, but you're like, I'm not sure I can go without my meat and dairy for 3 days? That's fine. What I would encourage you to do is grab the plan. Like I said, it's free. I got nothing to lose because it's free on my website, and just try. Try a few things. Try the oatmeal. Lots of people love the oatmeal. If you liked the regular chili, try the vegetarian chili. It's very similar in like the spice mixture and things like that. For sure, girl, try the banana ice cream. It's so good and so easy. It's just frozen bananas, a little bit of almond milk. Tastes like Dairy Queen soft serve. It's really good. The chickpea salad, a lot of people really like that. If you like a cold, almost like a pasta salad, but it's bean salad. Try the brown rice and cinnamon if you like, because that's like a sweet, almost like a dessert. And if you like sweet potatoes, try the sweet potato. It's a sweet potato topped with a mashed banana. It's so good. Sometimes I'll have that for my breakfast along with a side of vegetables. Yum, that is delicious. Wonderful snack. So what I would encourage you, like let's say you have a doctor who's telling you you need to eat more plant-based, or you're thinking like maybe I should eat more plant-based for health reasons. You certainly can go all 100%. Like if you want to go all in, go for it. It's so good for you. I ate 100% plant-based for 6 or 8 months, and it was great. I lost more weight when I wasn't even trying. I was full, didn't have the hunger pangs that I've dealt with for most of my life. It was great. I had to make a change because of my digestive condition, but I thought it was awesome. But I would also say you don't have to go that far to still see tons of benefit. What I would encourage you is to think of eating plant forward. Think of how can I add more plants into my day, because all of us need to eat more plants. And if you'll notice in the original diet, I did that for you. That's kind of what I did. Like if most of the time you would just eat eggs, I'm having you eat maybe eggs and vegetables. Or, we're adding things, to your chili. Lots of people were like, I would never eat chili with carrots in it, but then they tried it and they really liked it. That chili has what, like 3-4 cups of vegetables? That's awesome. So adding more plants to your day, you're never going to go wrong. All of us need a wider variety of plants. So if you still want to eat meat or animal products or dairy, that's fine. But how can you eat more plants throughout your day? So just grabbing this meal plan and trying some of the recipes is a great way to start, but don't feel like it's a one or the other. Like I'm either going to eat animal products or I'm going to eat plant-based. I would also encourage you, and wait until tomorrow when there's the coupon code, but check out this Super Satisfied meal plan. This is a very plant-forward plan. So first of all, if you're eating plant-based, this is the plan that you're going to want to get. But if you're thinking I want to just try some more plant-based meals, I would go with the Super Satisfied. And if you're new and this is your first time doing the 3-day diet, I would encourage you to get the 7-day easy. And this one can be modified to be vegetarian too, but the 7-day Super Satisfied is just a little bit easier to modify, and I give all the modifications for that. So I hope that helps with the plant-based eating for the person who had asked me some questions about that earlier. Let's talk about food cravings. Some of you have been talking about food cravings. Now, actually tell me in the comments, how did you do with that today? Did you find yourself craving certain foods? Were you wanting to I call it prowling. You're kind of prowling the kitchen, like, oh, maybe you kind of open the fridge, look around, close it, you open the pantry door, you think something new is going to be in there even though nothing's in there. You kind of think, oh, maybe I could just have a few bites of that. Oh, no, wait, I'm following the 3-day diet. Oh, well, maybe just a bite. After all, I walked this morning. That's what I call prowling. You're kind of prowling around. Or maybe somebody offered you food, or you were out somewhere, like at work, and there were snacks that were really tempting. Were you craving? In the Sunday video, I talked about this more, a specific strategy I teach of your toddler brain versus your adult brain. And I go into this quite a bit more in the 30-day challenges. And the next challenge is going to be in April. It's the Holy Mess Spring Weight Loss Challenge. There is a fee for that, but it is so worth it. We've done 2 challenges now. Both challenges had over 200 women, And the group as a whole lost like, it's some insane number. It's like 750 pounds in 30 days. The challenges are so good because I give you a step-by-step action plan of exactly what to do every single day. And I give you the accountability to make it happen, and we make it fun. I do videos. They're like master classes. We do giveaways. It's just a lot of fun. So if you're having cravings and you haven't watched the Sunday video, go back and check that out where I talked about the toddler brain and the adult brain. I also have information for that on my website and on YouTube. So you can check it out there. You can just type in like holy mess, emotional eating, or holy mess, toddler brain, adult brain. But we don't want the toddler primitive part of your brain driving you and making decisions based on food cravings. That's not going to get you what you want long term. That's never going to get you what you want. That's not to say you can't ever eat those foods, but we want you to plan them into your day. We want you to use the front, logical, adult part of your brain to make those decisions. I actually do something called pre-tracking. So every night before I go to bed, when I'm just laying on the couch watching TV with my family, chilling out, I track what I'm going to eat the next day. And then the next day, I just follow my plan. It makes it really easy. I know I have the food. It's not like I'm planning something that I don't even have the food in the house. It's prepared. I actually kind of like pre-tracking. I know I sound like a total nerd, but I like food, you guys. I like thinking about food. And so it's kind of like planning a vacation is half the fun. Planning what I'm going to eat the next day is half the fun. Because I'm like, ooh, maybe I could eat this. Oh, wait, maybe if I swapped it for this, that's lower points. And then I could have this with my lunch. And then I could have this before bed. So I actually make it just like a fun game. I really enjoy it. So I pre-track. So the night before, I plan what I'm going to eat the next day. The other thing that has made this so helpful is that it really makes it obvious when it's my toddler brain versus my adult brain. Because my toddler, she's very precocious. She's a very good negotiator. She can negotiate all the reasons why I need to eat all the food. So she can tell me why I worked out this morning, so I need more, or it's just a few more bites, what difference does it make, or might as well just finish the package because then you won't have to worry about it anymore, or I better eat it now because otherwise my husband or my kids are going to get it, or nobody's going to know, or everybody else is eating it. You get the idea? My toddler, she likes to talk. But when I planned out my day the day before, yes, occasionally I do have to change my plan, but not that often. It's like a red flag. If I'm constantly having to change my plan, why? Why do I have to change my plan? Sometimes life happens. Things come up and I'm not going to be able to eat my planned meal, but really not that often. Not that often. I'm a busy lady. I've got several businesses that I run, 5 kids, kids with special needs. I'm a pastor's wife. I'm up on the go doing all kinds of stuff. But I still pretty much follow my food plan most of the time. Or at least I have the opportunity to. It's not like life is so crazy that I can't follow what I wrote down less than 12 hours ago. I said I was going to eat. So that's just really helpful for me because when the negotiations start, I'm like, oh, toddler voice, that's food craving. I mean, yes, again, occasionally things happen or maybe I really am hungry. But most of the time, it's my toddler. So that makes it really helpful to tell the difference between adult voice and toddler voice. All right, so I'm going to see some of your comments. Jill says she's a muncher, nuts, chips, candy. Yes. So I love that you are here on this video right now, Jill, and everybody who is like you, who's wanting to munch in the evening. You can do hard things. I really want you to try to not give in to those food cravings. And it is hard. I know it is hard. Like I said, I had the cravings this afternoon. I was thinking I'll just eat something. Nobody will know. You guys, I wrote this plan. I should be able to follow it. I wrote it. And I was still tempted. I've been at my goal weight for 20 years. And I'm still tempted. So of course you're tempted. That's because you're human. That's because you have a primitive human part of your brain that drives you to food. And we are surrounded by food. Oh my goodness. In my cabinets, in my pantry, in my fridge, in my freezer. I probably have more food than most people had in their house 100 years ago for the whole winter. And we have it in our food, in our pantry, in our house right now. We are surrounded by such an abundance of food. And we are so blessed. We are so blessed But then that also gives us the challenge that we need to be responsible with these blessings that we have and not just give in to every food craving. So I appreciate that you guys are having some cravings tonight. I get it. But I also want you to be stronger than the craving. I want you to not give in to the craving. You have permission from me right now not to give in to the craving, even if it's hard. You can tell yourself, I can do hard things. Say it right now in the comments, I can do hard things. You can also say, adult me drives the car, because I gave this analogy. You've got the toddler. Okay, she can be in the back seat. She's singing to herself. She's playing with her Barbies. She's telling you you need to stop and drive through McDonald's, and she's telling you you need to get the ice cream. She's telling you to eat the chips and the cookies and the candy and the M&Ms, but she is not driving the car. You don't want a toddler driving your car. That's a scary thing. You want the adult you driving the car. Adult you who makes good decisions, who is wise, who is smart, who is thinking for the future, who is planning ahead, who joined this challenge. It's adult you who joined the 3-day challenge, who said, I need that, who stood up with courage and said, I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to do this 3-day diet. That was adult you. So yes, type it in the comments. Adult me drives the car. It was adult you who made the wise decision to do this 3-day plan. And I want you to stick with it. I want you to meet me right here in this group on Thursday morning when we do our weigh-in and say, I followed that plan, Sarah. I feel so good about myself because I followed the plan. Heck, even when you go to bed tonight and when you get up in the morning, I want you to feel good. I want you to be like, heck yeah, I followed that plan. It wasn't easy, but I did it. I can do hard things. You're going to feel so good. I know eating the food tastes good in the moment. I know it does. I know how good it feels to have chips like dissolving in your mouth, or chocolate, or popcorn when you're munching it, when you're watching TV. I know that. But it feels really good when you don't. When you don't give in to the craving, or when you eat that because you've made an adult decision to, not because you gave in and you're kind of like eating behind your own back. It doesn't really feel good. It really doesn't. It feels good for a second, that momentary pleasure, but it really doesn't feel good long term. It's not really what you want. It's what you want in the moment, but it's not really what you want. I want you to make decisions based on what you really want, what you want long term. You want to feel so good on Thursday when you weigh in. You want to be so excited. You want to feel so good tomorrow morning when you're like, heck yeah, I did day 1, I did day 2. Bring on day 3. I'm ready. Bring it on. I'm ready for it. You're going to feel so good when you do not give in to those food cravings. You can just ask yourself, toddler or adult, when you're having a food craving, is that my toddler voice or is it my adult voice? And if it's your toddler voice, you don't beat yourself up for it. You're like, yeah, Sarah said that would happen. That's normal. Just part of being human. And then you say, okay, adult me is going to make decisions. And adult you can make whatever decision is right for you. Maybe it's to go to bed. Maybe you're tired. Maybe you need to watch this video and then go to bed. Maybe it's to quilt or crochet or take a hot bath or put your feet up or do your nails or, send an email to a friend or do your Bible study. Whatever it is for you, you're going to feel so good when it's the adult you who makes the decision, not giving in to the toddler voice. All right. You guys just get me going. I just start talking. I'm going off. You're also talking about adult me drives the car. You can do hard things. I'm so proud of you. You're doing so well. Patricia says, I didn't have any cravings today. The meals were very satisfying. I don't really need all the snacks. I think just knowing I have the snacks takes the stress out of thinking about other snacks. Yes, it's so true. And this is such a foundational principle that I'm trying to teach you with this 3-day diet. When you are getting enough nutritious food, you're not going to have as many food cravings. Now, I'm not going to tell you you have no food cravings. That's not what I'm saying, because those are still going to be there. You're still human as long as you're alive, and we're in this food culture with this food that is genetically engineered to drive you to it. You're going to want it. Yeah, you're going to want it, especially those of us who have like a highly sensitive food drive or food triggers. I've got a really good video on that on YouTube that I just posted a few days ago. It's called like Hunger and Appetite, what mine are like. Definitely check that out if you haven't watched that yet. You can just type in holy mess, like hunger and appetite, and it'll come up for you. But when your body is satisfied, you're not going to have the food cravings. And when you know you've got those healthy snacks available, I'm not saying that they won't still be there, but it's so much easier to manage If you are so hungry because you didn't eat all day or you didn't eat enough calories, your body will drive you to the highest calorie food in your environment and you will not be able to resist it. And that isn't a moral issue. That's not an ethical issue. That's your biology. That is what God built into your biology to keep you alive. So it doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. It doesn't mean you have no willpower. It means that's how our bodies work. So it's very important that you give your body the nutrition that it needs. And for some of you, what you're learning in these 3 days is that you haven't been eating enough. Maybe not that you've been eating too much, but that you haven't been eating enough. Some of you are learning, I'm not eating enough nutrition because, like we talked about, Americans are overfed and undernourished. We have way, way, way more calories than we need, but we're not getting the nutrition. So if your body isn't getting the nutrition, it will continue to drive you to eat more food, even though you've had enough calories, but you haven't had enough nutrition. So when you are filling your diet with these fresh whole foods with tons of vegetables, fruit, whole grains, lots of lean protein, you're not going to be as hungry. You're not going to have as many food cravings. So I love seeing what you guys are doing. Helen says, I'm so amazed at how much I'm eating every day. I couldn't figure out the 0-point foods. Yeah, I will tell you, because I get this question a lot for those of you who are Weight Watchers members, can I overeat 0-point foods? You can. It is possible. It is definitely possible because all food has calories. But it's really rare, especially over time, because Weight Watchers has built into the system some calories. They're assuming you're going to eat some 0-point foods, and so they built that into their system. And these are just the foods that people don't tend to overeat over time. So that's why, by and large, I don't worry about the 0-point foods. If somebody comes to me and they're like, my weight has plateaued, I can't lose any weight, I'm stalled out, I'm not asking them about these foods. I'm not asking them about the foods we've been eating on the 3-day diet because it's not my concern. I'm not worried that they're eating too many bananas. The first thing I say is, tell me about the last day that you did not track, that you got off plan. What did you eat? Because what's likely is that when they're going off plan, they're going way off plan and they're like just hammering it. And I say that not with judgment, but because that's what I did. And then we kind of forget about it. Remember how we talked about that at the beginning of this video? When we get back on track, we kind of get amnesia. And so then we think, well, okay, yeah, I splurged this weekend, but I didn't really splurge that much. But we did. Sometimes we splurge by thousands of calories, and it's enough to outdo the eating that we did earlier in the week. But it doesn't seem that way because we put it out of our mind. We're not really honest. And that's why I encourage, if you have a binge, if you have an episode of overeating, that you go back and to the best of your ability, track what you actually ate. Track honestly. Nobody's going to see it, but there is real power in there in being honest and seeing what you actually ate. It's very powerful. It can be quite convicting, and I don't mean that in a bad way. There's a difference between conviction and honest guilt and shaming ourselves. We're not shaming ourselves. But we want to look at the truth because that's how we can get better. That's how we can get better. All right, I'm just looking at some more of your comments here. The eggs were more filling than the yogurt. Yeah, I will say I tend to like the egg breakfast better. It's just that when I wrote the plan, some people were like, I don't want eggs every day. So we're trying to vary it up a little bit. Dawn was a little more hungry today. I understand. You have an office party coming up and you want to focus on fruit. That's great. That is one of my strategies for parties and events is what can I get of those like green foods or 0-point foods first? Is there a salad? Is there a fruit tray? Is there a veggie tray? Is there shrimp? Can I fill up on some of that lean protein and vegetables and fruits? Then I might look at whole grains. That can be a little harder at a party, but sometimes there's like brown rice sushi or something. Then I'm going to go more into the treat foods when I'm already filled up. And usually I'll eat something before I go too. No cravings. Your adult brain was working today. Trisha, just a little. Will the April challenge have a plant-based option? Oh, yes. So the April challenge is set up differently. It is a 30-day challenge, and you track, well, there's a whole guide. I'll show you tomorrow, actually. Tomorrow's Wednesday, right? Oh my gosh, you guys, tomorrow's Wednesday. You've got to come to the video tomorrow because I'm doing a giveaway, and it's worth $79. And every time you comment in the comments is an entry to win. I'll go into more about what the spring challenge is like tomorrow, But yes, you can definitely do it plant-based. You can do it keto, you can do it plant-based, whatever. You can do it with any meal plan. Weight Watchers, we had tons of Weight Watchers members in there. So a lot of people saying, some people too, Linda was too full to crave anything. That's great. Several people are saying they wanted bread, bagels. Yep. Nothing wrong with bread, and I think after this challenge is over, you'll probably add bread back in. I will tell you that bread is actually more of a yellow category food, even when it's whole grain. And the reason for that is because it's ground. So one of the things that calorie density teaches, and I'm going to be teaching quite extensively about this in the spring challenge. So if this type of stuff, if you geek out on this stuff, you're going to want to come to the spring challenge because one of the whole master classes is just going to be about the magic of calorie density, how much it's helped me. When you grind food, it's easier for your body to digest because you think about a whole intact grain, like a whole brown rice, a whole barley, bulgur, quinoa. When you eat it, you cook it, so now it's got water in it. And remember, we talked about that helps lower the calorie density. But then your body has to do all the work to break it down. But when something is ground into a flour, now a machine did part of the work. So your body is going to process it much faster. It's easier for your body to digest. It doesn't take as long. It doesn't keep you full as long. It doesn't burn as many calories just digesting the food. So that's why those foods start to get into the yellow category of foods. Not that you can't eat them, but you want to be aware your body is going to handle that differently. So when I look at recipes, even like an old-fashioned oatmeal where I'm cooking the oatmeal and adding some fruit and having it for breakfast, that my body treats one way. But if you grind up the oatmeal and make it into oat flour and bake a bread with it, it's still very healthy, but my body treats that differently. My body is going to look at that more as a treat. It's not going to keep me as full and satisfied. It's going to be easier to overeat. So I have to be a little more careful with that. And I think you kind of know what I mean. If you've ever like ground oatmeal or, like a whole foods like muffins, power bites, 2-ingredient dough. I mean, can you overeat that stuff? Oh, heck yeah, I sure can. I mean, give me a banana, chip, whatever, muffin. Sure, I can eat it. Sure, even if it's made of all whole grains, I'm still going to be wanting to eat like all 6 of them when they come out of the oven. That's why. And that's why those foods are still healthy whole foods, but they're going to fit more into your yellow category where you need to proceed with a little bit more caution. All right, let's talk about tomorrow. So that was day 2. Day 3. We're almost done, you guys. You just have tomorrow. You can so totally do this. So tell me in the comments, I can do hard things. You are going to finish this challenge. And I want you to say, I will follow my food plan on Wednesday. I will follow my food plan on Wednesday. And if you have to say, darn it, then say, darn it. Darn it, I will follow my food plan on Wednesday. We only have 1 day left. When you're tempted tomorrow, I want you to be like, I'm following this plan. I only have 1 day left. I'm doing this thing. Heck yeah. I want to feel good on Thursday morning. I want to feel great when I weigh in. I want to be able to say I did this whole entire thing. I did it with Sarah. I followed the plan. So you are going to follow your food plan on Wednesday, and you're going to feel so good. For those of you who are on the original plan, tomorrow, I do find this to be a more filling day. So if you were a little bit more hungry today, you're not alone, which is interesting because actually I think the calories are a little higher today, but just because of the types of foods, today tends to be a day that people are a little bit more hungry. And day 1 and day 3, they're not as hungry. And this is learning. This is what I want you to learn. So if you were a little more hungry today, look at that and say why. Like the people who are like, I think eggs fill me up better. That's brilliant. Now you know that. Now you know, like you should eat eggs for breakfast. Don't just grab a yogurt cup. You need that nutrition and that balance of protein and fat maybe. But regardless, however this is working for you, you're learning what works for your individual body. So for day 3, we're going to do an omelet, again with 3 eggs, and we're going to add some vegetables. Yay. If you want to add some salsa, you can, but you don't have to. Then we're going to have our taco bowl with the salsa chicken. And I was going to tell you too, that's Instant Pot. You can also make it on the stovetop. If you haven't made it yet, you guys, it's so easy. It's basically just some chicken, some salsa. You cook it until the chicken's done, shred the chicken, and add some Greek yogurt. Don't make this fancy. When I was doing my meal prep, actually, I already had my hard-boiled eggs in my Instant Pot. I didn't want to mess with it. I just did it on the stove. I threw a couple chicken breasts in there with some salsa, cooked it until it was done, shredded it, added some Greek yogurt. Boom, it's in my fridge for tomorrow. Very easy. So the taco bowl, this is a really filling one. It's so yummy, and this is a great like family night dinner for your taco night. So you've got your salsa chicken, you're going to do lettuce, you're going to do tomato, you can do cauliflower rice, you can do black beans, you can top it with some salsa and some Greek yogurt. It's like a huge bowl. It's so delicious. Dinner is the 4 ounces of turkey breast, which we talked about that. You can do a whole turkey breast, you can do a whole turkey, you can just do deli turkey. Just try to make sure it's nothing with any extra sugar as much as possible, though lots of meats actually do have sugar injected. A little bit isn't anything to worry about. You're going to do some steamed vegetables and corn on the cob, which I don't know if you can get it fresh. Some of us can, or you can get frozen. Then I'm excited to see what you think of the banana souffle. This is always a controversial one. It's just 2 bananas and 2 eggs. You mash it all up and you cook it. And some people just love it, and they go on and on and on about how good it is, and they eat it for breakfast several times a week. And other people think it's nasty, and other people think they won't even try it, so they just eat the eggs separate from the bananas. Do what works for you. And if that's too much for you and you just want to do 1 banana and 1 egg, that's totally fine. If you don't like bananas, you can do it with other fruits or even vegetables, but it's a little tricky. Just to get the right consistency and the sweetness, you might have to add a little bit of sweetener. But we've had people use pumpkin. We've had people use applesauce or a combination, like some banana and some applesauce or some banana and some pumpkin. If you've never tried it before and you like bananas, I would encourage you to just try it. You might be surprised. I really like it. When I was doing triathlons, this was my post-workout meal a lot of times because it's got healthy carbs and fiber and lots of protein. So that's what I would have when I was doing my tries. Okay, and then for the plant-based people, they are going to have the sweet berry oatmeal, which is yummy, the Mexican black beans and rice bowl, and this is the one, you guys, whether you're plant-based or not, you got to go grab that recipe because it literally takes 5 minutes. And you can have the stuff in your pantry all the time for that meal. It's such a good go-to meal for when you've been running around, you've been doing errands, you've had doctor appointments, and you're like, oh my gosh, there's nothing in the house. You can keep the ingredients for that in the house, and it takes 5 minutes. Then they're going to have the plant-based spaghetti dinner, where you're going to have a really filling bowl of whole wheat pasta and spaghetti squash and spaghetti sauce. And they're going to have green beans with that. Then they've got a snack, again, of the chickpea salad and the banana ice cream again. So they get to enjoy dessert again tomorrow, too. All right, so that is our day tomorrow. I cannot wait to check in with you tomorrow, just to give you an idea of how the challenge is going to go. Tomorrow afternoon, I will be sending an email and post it here in the group. I'm going to have a coupon code just for you guys, and that is for the 7-day easy meal plan, the super satisfied meal plan, the other meal plan. Like if you bought the original, you can buy the plant-based, the upgrade of the meal plan with the coupon code, and just a little behind the scenes too. I didn't really publicly tell people this, but I'll let you know this. The coupon code actually works for anything in the Holy Mess shop, anything. So even like my Bible study stuff, other meal plans, I've got like a 15 quick and easy dinner recipes. They're all like weight loss geared toward. You can use the coupon code. I just said it. It's going to be 40% off, which is a really good code. I normally do like 20%. Is going to come tomorrow. So you can actually use it for anything. You can go on a little shopping spree and get all your good stuff. And if you like the 3-day diet, that's what all my stuff is like. I really try to make it filling, satisfying, and real. It's real food. It's food that you can pick up at Walmart, your local grocery store. There's nothing weird. There's nothing unusual. There's nothing hard. It's just really doable and really satisfying, delicious food that'll help you lose weight. It's what I ate. It's what I eat now to maintain a 100-pound weight loss. So tomorrow afternoon, the coupon code comes out. Then tomorrow night, I will be here at 7 o'clock, just like every night for this video. We're going to talk about day 3, and we're going to have a giveaway. And it's only for people who show up live. So like right now, there's 37 people on this video. That's not very many. that means you have a really high chance of winning if 37 people come tomorrow. And those are who come live and they post comments. Those 37 people will be entered in the drawing, and it's a good one. You don't want to miss it. I will talk more about the spring weight loss challenge tomorrow night. And then Thursday morning, I think it's like 6 a.m., I'm going to post a weigh-in thread. So you can share. You don't have to share your weight, but you can share plus or minus. And then I'll come in the group at some point in the morning. I usually come in like around 10 o'clock Eastern just to do a little wrap up, talk about how you're doing. We talk about weigh-ins. So if you are someone who struggles with your feelings and thoughts around weigh-ins, we will definitely address it on that Thursday morning at 10 o'clock video, because this is the thing, and I want you to type this in the comments. Your worth is not your weight. Your worth is not your weight. I know that seems like a little bit of a crazy thing for me to say right now when everything we've been focused on here for the last few days is weight loss, but you're so much bigger than that. You're so much more important than that. No number like that defines you. Never let the scale define you. Never let the number on the scale define your day. How many times have I done that? Oh my goodness. I saw a number that I didn't like and it was like, well, this day is shot. And I was yelling at my kids and snapping at my husband and grouching at people at work and eating all the junk food. Or the opposite, I had a really good weigh-in. I was like, oh, well, I got away with that. I guess I can just go eat some cookies. Notice how that's all your toddler brain too, trying to drive you, because whether you do well or you don't do well, either way, it's to drive you to get food. What the heck? Your worth is not your weight. Your weight is important. Now, I am not one who is going to say it doesn't matter, never weigh yourself, because I don't believe that either. I think it's data. I think it's important information, just like any other information. You know, the government wants to know my numbers for my taxes because it's data. It's important information that they need. You know, your doctor wants to know your cholesterol. Your doctor wants to know what your blood work said or what your thyroid says. You can't just ignore those things. Your weight does matter. It has an impact, but it doesn't define who you are. You're so much bigger than that. You're so much more important than that one number. So we're going to work on that too, of how we can accept that number with grace and compassion and not beat ourselves up for it and look at it as data that is going to help us and guide us, but not rule over us. All right, ladies, I'm just going to look really quick at your comments. I'll read all these when we're done with the video. I love seeing you all here. Julie, what time is the check-in on Thursday? Probably 10 o'clock Eastern. It's just I gotta get kids off to school and stuff. But the weigh-in thread starts at 6 a.m. You can post whenever you want. If it's convenient for you. Try to weigh in before you eat or drink anything, and then you can post whenever you want. But the video, I'll come in on video at 10 o'clock. Rita, true, I wasn't eating enough. Yeah, that's really common. Hey, Gabrielle's on here. Everybody give a shout out to Gabrielle. She is my assistant with the Holy Mess. So if you've emailed in, you probably talked to Gabrielle, and she's so awesome. She's so encouraging, motivating, inspiring. She helps us all with Send Owl and our emails when we can't find our orders. And she's just, oh, see, she's already given me compliments. She says I look gorgeous in this color. Thank you so much, my friend. Linda says the 30-day challenges are great. Thank you, Linda. Lisa says the meals are very filling and I haven't been able to eat it all. That's totally fine. Not as tired this afternoon as I usually am. That is so great, Lisa. It's amazing how good we feel when we fuel our bodies, right? You guys are telling me you can do hard things, which I love, because yes, you can. You can do hard things, and you are going to follow your food plan on Wednesday, and so am I. When I am tempted, I'm going to remember all of you that we are in this together. I'm going to say, everybody else is doing it. We're doing this together. I am following my food plan on Wednesday. Nice job, everybody. Okay. Oh, I love seeing all of these comments. Awesome. We are going to have such a good day. We're going to have such a good day tomorrow. You're going to feel so good. You're going to feel full, satisfied. You know, like so many of you have said, like, why don't I eat this way all the time? I'm like, yeah, why don't you? No, I get it. I get it. Like we've talked about so much. Those treat foods taste really good, but think of how good you feel. I will tell you, this is how I eat the majority of the time. I do eat treats. I do eat out. I do eat desserts. I do eat chocolate. I do eat brownies, but not every day. and not in large quantities like I used to. This really is the majority of what I eat, and I feel so much better. I feel so much healthier. I'm able to maintain my weight. I really believe this is how God designed our bodies to be. Linda, do I have to have the yogurt? No, for tomorrow. What yogurt is tomorrow? It's just in the, I think the only yogurt tomorrow is in the salsa chicken. You can just leave it out if you don't want it. But it just makes it creamy, kind of like a sour cream. Julie likes the banana souffle. She said it's great. It reminds me of something that my mom would make when I was younger. That's awesome. Yeah, Linda, I can never find this post in time. You know, Facebook has been really slow. It's really annoying. It just takes a long time to come up in the group for some reason. And you all are saying your worth is not your weight. Amen, because that is so true. All right, we're going to wrap up for tonight. I will see you tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern, where we will wrap up day 3, and you'll be done. When we do that, you'll either be done or almost done, depending on your time zone. You're going to feel so good. So tell me one more time. My worth is not my weight. Type that in the comments. Say, I can do hard things, and I will follow my food plan on Wednesday. And I am saying all of that with you, and I will see you tomorrow night. And don't forget, tomorrow is the giveaway, so you don't want to miss tomorrow night's video. All right. Love you guys. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.